In the vast, sun-drenched landscapes of Zimbabwe, a serious problem is growing. This problem involves people and elephants. These two groups are increasingly coming into conflict with each other. The consequences of these encounters can be very dangerous. Sometimes they are even deadly for both humans and the majestic elephants. This conflict is not a new issue, however, it has become much more intense in recent years. The reasons for this escalation are complex. They involve changes in the environment and growing human populations. Finding solutions is incredibly important for everyone involved. The heart of the problem lies in the shared use of land and resources. Elephants, magnificent creatures, need large areas to roam and find food. Humans also need land for farming, for building homes, and for their livelihoods. As human communities expand, they often move closer to areas where elephants live. This proximity inevitably leads to more frequent interactions. These interactions are not always peaceful. Elephants might wander into villages looking for food. They can accidentally destroy crops, damage buildings, or even harm people. This creates fear and anger among the local communities who are trying to survive. The danger is not one-sided. When elephants are perceived as a threat, people may try to defend themselves or their property. This can lead to elephants being injured or killed. The loss of human life is a tragedy. Between January and April of 2025 alone, a stark statistic highlights this danger. 18 people across Zimbabwe lost their lives due to conflicts with various wildlife, including elephants. During this same period, park authorities were forced to take action against animals deemed trouble. This resulted in 158 animals being killed, a difficult but sometimes necessary measure to protect human lives and property. The escalating conflict puts immense pressure on conservation efforts. It also creates significant hardship for rural communities. These communities often bear the brunt of the damage. They lose vital food sources when crops are raided. Their homes and infrastructure can be destroyed. The fear of encountering elephants can restrict daily activities. Children may be afraid to walk to school. Farmers may be hesitant to work in their fields. The economic and emotional toll is substantial. This growing shadow of conflict demands urgent and innovative solutions to protect both people and Zimbabwe's precious elephant herds. In early 2024, a new strategy was launched in Zimbabwe. This strategy aims to reduce the dangerous encounters between people and elephants. The Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority, known as ZimParks, joined forces with the International Fund for Animal Welfare, or IFAD. Together, they introduced a system of tracking elephants using GPS collars. This initiative is particularly focused on areas near Hwange National Park. Hwange is one of Africa's largest and most famous wildlife reserves. The hope is that this technology can provide early warnings. These warnings can help prevent conflicts before they turn tragic for either humans or the elephants. The core idea behind this initiative is proactive management. Instead of only reacting after an incident has occurred, the system allows for anticipation. By knowing where certain elephant herds are and where they are heading, authorities and communities can take preventative measures. This is a significant step forward from previous methods. It represents a commitment to using modern technology for conservation and community safety. The collaboration between a government agency like ZimParks and an international organization like IFAD is crucial. It brings together local knowledge, resources, and international expertise to tackle a complex problem effectively. The technology supporting this promising initiative is sophisticated. A key component is the Earth Ranger platform. IFAD introduced this platform. It allows park authorities and researchers to track the collared elephants in almost real time. This provides a dynamic map of elephant movements. This map is not just a general overview, it shows their exact location and their proximity to specific digitally delineated buffer zones. These buffer zones are carefully mapped areas. They separate the national park and designated hunting concessions from community lands. This clear demarcation is vital for the warning system to function efficiently. The launch of this GPS collar system represents a significant investment. It is an investment in technology, in personnel, and in a new approach to wildlife management. The goal is not just to track elephants. The ultimate aim is to foster a more peaceful coexistence between wildlife and human communities. It acknowledges that both have a right to exist and thrive. By providing tools to mitigate conflict, The initiative hopes to reduce losses on both sides. It is a beacon of hope in a challenging situation. It demonstrates a commitment to finding practical solutions to protect Zimbabwe's natural heritage and its people. The GPS collars are much more than simple tracking devices. They are part of an intelligent, interconnected system designed for early warning. Each collar is fitted with a global positioning system unit. This unit constantly determines the elephant's location. This location data is then transmitted at regular intervals. The system is specifically programmed to trigger alerts. These alerts are activated when a collared elephant shows signs of heading towards human settlements or agricultural areas. This is the crucial first step in preventing a potential conflict situation from escalating into something more serious. The Earth Ranger platform is the central hub for all this information. Arnold Schipper, an IFOR field operations manager, often monitors the collared elephants from his laptop. On his screen, icons representing the elephants move across a detailed map. A critical feature of this map is a red line. This red line signifies the boundary of the buffer zone. This zone is the carefully demarcated area separating the park from community lands. When an elephant's icon crosses this red line, it means the animal has breached the buffer zone. Instantly, an alert pings on the system. This immediate notification is vital. Once an alert is triggered, a rapid response mechanism swings into action. The information about the elephant's movement is quickly relayed. It goes to the people who are best positioned to act, the community guardians on the ground. These guardians are local residents. They are trained and equipped to warn their fellow villagers. The system allows authorities to see not just the elephant's movement, but also the location of these community guardians. This helps in coordinating the response effectively. Resources can be allocated to specific areas where they are most needed, ensuring a targeted and timely intervention. The collars themselves are designed for long-term use. The batteries within these sophisticated devices typically last between 2 and 4 years. This longevity is important. It means that an individual elephant, and by extension its herd, can be monitored for a significant period. This provides valuable data on movement patterns, habitat use, and responses to environmental changes. The information gathered is not just for immediate alerts. It also contributes to a deeper understanding of elephant behavior. This understanding is crucial for developing long-term conservation strategies and improving the effectiveness of the conflict mitigation program over time. The success of the GPS Collar initiative heavily relies on a dedicated group of individuals. These are the community guardians. Men like Capon Sibanda, who is 29 years old, play a vital role. They are the crucial link between the high-tech tracking system and the people living in vulnerable villages. When an alert comes through, indicating that a collared elephant is approaching a village, Capon Sibanda receives this information. He understands the urgency. He knows that swift action can prevent crop damage, property destruction, or even save lives. His role is one of vigilance and rapid communication. Capon Sibanda uses modern tools alongside traditional methods to spread the warning. He is part of local WhatsApp groups. These groups are a quick and efficient way to disseminate information to many people simultaneously. He posts warnings in these groups, alerting residents who have smartphones. However, not everyone in these rural communities has access to such technology. For those without phone access, Capon Sibanda has another method. He jumps on his bicycle. He then rides through the village, personally informing residents of the approaching elephants. This dedication ensures that the warning reaches as many people as possible, as quickly as possible. The community guardians are not volunteers in the strictest sense. They receive some support for their invaluable work. This support includes a monthly food allotment. This food is worth about $80. They also receive assistance with internet data. This data is essential for them to receive the alerts and communicate effectively via platforms like WhatsApp. While this compensation may seem modest, it provides important support. It acknowledges the time and effort they dedicate to protecting their communities. Their commitment often goes beyond the call of duty, driven by a desire to safeguard their homes and neighbors. The Earth Ranger system does more than just track elephants. It also logs the location of these community guardians. This feature helps in coordinating responses during an alert. It also provides a record of their activities. The guardians are, in many ways, the unsung heroes of this conservation effort. They operate at the very front line of human-elephant conflict. Their bravery, quick thinking, and local knowledge are indispensable. They bridge the gap between technology and practical on-the-ground action. They are the human face of a system designed to protect both people and wildlife in a challenging environment. Section 5. The relentless march of climate change fueling the friction. The increasing conflict between humans and elephants in Zimbabwe is not happening in a vacuum. A larger global force is making a difficult situation even worse. This force is climate change. The changing climate is having profound effects on the environment. It is altering rainfall patterns, leading to more frequent and severe droughts. It is also causing temperatures to rise. These changes directly impact the availability of essential resources. Food and water, critical for the survival of all living beings, are becoming scarcer. This scarcity is a major driver of the escalating tensions. Elephants, with their substantial needs, are particularly affected by these environmental shifts. During dry seasons, which are becoming longer and harsher due to climate change, natural water sources within parks may dwindle or disappear completely. The vegetation that elephants rely on for food also becomes less abundant. This desperation for sustenance pushes elephants to venture beyond the boundaries of protected areas. They are driven by hunger and thirst. They move into areas where humans live and farm, seeking whatever resources they can find. This inevitably leads to more frequent and sometimes more destructive raids on villages. These climate-induced elephant raids have devastating consequences for local communities. Crops that families depend on for their food security and income are destroyed in a single night. Elephants can trample fields, consume entire harvests, and damage grain storage facilities. Beyond crops, infrastructure like water pipes, boreholes, and fences can also be damaged. In the most tragic instances, these encounters can result in injuries or even the death of people. The increased frequency of such incidents fueled by climate change creates a cycle of fear and resentment. It makes peaceful coexistence even more challenging to achieve. The link between climate change and human-wildlife conflict is becoming increasingly clear to scientists and conservationists. It is not just elephants that are affected. Many other wildlife species are also facing similar pressures. The competition for dwindling resources, water, grazing land, and space intensifies among wildlife. It also intensifies between wildlife and human populations. This underscores the need for holistic conservation strategies. These strategies must address not only the immediate symptoms of conflict, but also the underlying environmental drivers, including the urgent need to mitigate and adapt to the impacts of a changing climate. Section 6. A land overflowing, Zimbabwe's elephant population dilemma. Zimbabwe is home to a very large number of elephants. Current estimates suggest the country's elephant population is around 100,000 individuals. This is a significant figure, especially when considering the carrying capacity of the land. Experts believe that the land in Zimbabwe can sustainably support roughly half that number, perhaps around 50,000 to 55,000 elephants. This means that, in overall terms, Zimbabwe has nearly double the number of elephants that its environment can comfortably sustain over the long term. This overpopulation in itself presents a considerable challenge for wildlife managers and conservationists. The situation is particularly acute in specific areas like Hwange National Park. This vast park is one of the jewels of Zimbabwe's protected area network. It alone is estimated to hold about 45,000 elephants. However, the park's estimated carrying capacity is significantly lower, believed to be around 15,000 elephants. This means Hwange is supporting 3 times the number of elephants it was designed for. Such a high concentration of these large herbivores inevitably puts immense pressure on the park's ecosystem. Vegetation can be overgrazed, water sources can be depleted more quickly, and the overall biodiversity of the park can be affected. One factor contributing to the high elephant numbers is the country's policy on culling. Zimbabwe has not implemented large-scale elephant culling operations for close to 4 decades. Tinashe Farawo, a spokesperson for the parks agency, has indicated that this is due to a combination of factors. Pressure from wildlife conservation activists, both locally and internationally, has played a role. Additionally, the process of culling is expensive and logistically complex. While culling is a controversial subject, the absence of this management tool means that elephant populations have continued to grow largely unchecked by direct human intervention for population control. This large elephant population, especially when concentrated in areas like Hwanga, naturally leads to elephants seeking resources outside park boundaries. When food and water become scarce within the park, particularly during dry seasons or droughts exacerbated by climate change, the elephants are more likely to venture into adjacent community lands. This is a primary driver of the human-elephant conflict that the GPS Collar initiative seeks to mitigate. The sheer number of elephants means that even a small percentage of them moving outside protected areas can have a significant impact on nearby human settlements. Section 7. The Science of Safety, the Elephant Collaring Process. Fitting a GPS collar onto a wild elephant is a complex and carefully orchestrated operation. It requires a skilled team and meticulous planning. The teams involved typically include experienced ecologists, wildlife veterinarians, skilled trackers, and park rangers. Their first task is to locate a suitable elephant herd. The preference is often to collar the matriarch of the herd. Matriarchs are the older, dominant females. They lead their family groups. By tracking the matriarch, the movements of the entire herd can often be effectively monitored, as the other members tend to stay close to her. Once a target herd and matriarch are identified, the next step is the immobilization. This is usually done from a helicopter or a vehicle. A veterinarian uses a dart gun to deliver a carefully calculated dose of sedative to the chosen elephant. The sedative takes a few minutes to take effect. The team on the ground then approaches the immobilized elephant with caution. Time is of the essence. The welfare of the elephant is paramount throughout the entire procedure. The team works quickly and efficiently to minimize stress on the animal. While the elephant is sedated, several procedures are carried out. The GPS collar is carefully fitted around its neck. These collars are robustly built to withstand the rigors of an elephant's life. They are designed to be as comfortable as possible for the animal. During this time, the veterinary team also often takes biological samples. This can include blood samples, which can be analyzed later to assess the elephant's health, genetic makeup, or exposure to diseases. Measurements of the elephant might also be taken. All this data contributes to a broader understanding of the elephant population. After all the necessary procedures are completed, which usually takes a short amount of time, an antidote to the sedative is administered. The team then retreats to a safe distance to allow the elephant to recover peacefully. The elephant typically gets back on its feet within a few minutes and rejoins its herd. The newly fitted collar immediately begins transmitting location data. This data then feeds into the Earth Ranger system, allowing for the real-time tracking that is so crucial for the conflict mitigation efforts. The entire collaring process is a testament to the dedication of conservation professionals. Section 8. Knowledge is power data-driven conservation efforts. The Earth Ranger system, which receives data from the GPS collars, is more than just a tool for tracking elephant movements in real time. It serves as a comprehensive database. This database logs a wide array of incidents and information crucial for effective wildlife management. Beyond showing where collared elephants are, the system is used to record instances of crop damage caused by wildlife. It logs attacks on people and livestock, not only by elephants but also by other predators such as lions and hyenas. This detailed record-keeping is invaluable for understanding the full scope of human-wildlife conflict. Furthermore, the platform also documents retaliatory attacks on wildlife by humans. This provides a clearer picture of the cycle of conflict. Understanding the triggers and consequences from both sides is essential for developing effective interventions. The system also tracks the locations of the community guardians. This allows for better coordination during alerts and helps in assessing the effectiveness of the warning system. Edson Gandiwa, the director of the Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority, has emphasized the importance of this data. He stated that the platform ensures that conservation decisions are informed by robust scientific data. This commitment to data-driven conservation means that strategies can be adapted and refined over time. By analyzing patterns of elephant movement, conflict hotspots, and the effectiveness of mitigation efforts, Zimparks and IFOR can make more informed choices. They can identify areas where resources are most needed. They might decide to reinforce buffer zones in certain locations or deploy additional community guardians to particularly vulnerable villages. The data can also help in understanding the impact of broader environmental changes such as drought on wildlife behavior and conflict levels. This scientific approach moves conservation beyond guesswork. The information gathered also has potential for longer-term research. Ecologists can use the movement data to study elephant habitat preferences, seasonal migration patterns, and the impact of human development on their behavior. This research can contribute to better land use planning. It can help identify crucial wildlife corridors that need protection. Ultimately, the power of this information lies in its ability to guide actions that promote coexistence. By understanding the complexities of the situation through solid data, conservationists and communities can work together more effectively to find sustainable solutions for both people and wildlife. Section 9. Navigating the future benefits, burdens, and the path ahead. The introduction of GPS collars and the associated early warning system has undeniably brought significant benefits. The primary achievement is the potential to save lives, both human and elephant. By providing timely warnings, communities have a chance to take precautions. This reduces the likelihood of surprise encounters that can turn tragic. Between January and April 2025, while 18 human fatalities due to wildlife conflict were recorded across Zimbabwe, the hope is that initiatives like this will steadily bring such numbers down in the areas where they are active. The reduction of fear and anxiety in communities is also a valuable, though less tangible, benefit. However, the technology, while helpful, is not a complete solution to all the problems. Villagers like Senzeni Sibanda acknowledge that the warning system helps. Yet frustration remains over the persistent issue of crop and infrastructure damage. Even if people are safe, losing a season's harvest to elephants is a devastating economic blow. Her community receives a small share of annual trophy hunting revenues. This share, roughly equivalent to the value of one elephant hunt, which can be between $10,000 and $80,000, is often used for community projects like water repairs or fencing. Senzeni expresses a desire for an increase in Zimbabwe's hunting quota of 500 elephants per year and a larger community share of this revenue. The debate around elephant management, including issues like hunting quotas and culling, remains complex and often contentious. In September 2024, proposals by Zimbabwe and Namibia to slaughter elephants to feed drought-stricken communities were met with protests from activists. This followed international discussions, such as Botswana's then president offering to gift 20,000 elephants to Germany, highlighting the differing perspectives on how to manage large elephant populations. These discussions underscore the deep economic and ethical considerations involved in wildlife conservation, especially when human livelihoods are at stake. The GPS collars address one aspect of the conflict, but broader socio-economic issues persist. Looking ahead, the path requires a multifaceted approach. Technology like GPS collars and platforms like EarthRanger are powerful tools. They enhance monitoring and response capabilities significantly. However, they must be complemented by strategies that address the root causes of conflict. This includes mitigating climate change impacts, promoting sustainable land use practices, and ensuring that local communities see tangible benefits from living alongside wildlife. The challenge is to balance the needs of a growing human population with the conservation of magnificent animals like elephants. It requires ongoing dialogue, innovation, and a commitment from all stakeholders to find a way for humans and wildlife to share the landscape more peacefully.